You weren't just gifted to be impressive, you were gifted to be useful. Often people say they're working in purpose, but the truth is, if you cannot clearly articulate what problem you are solving, you are still wondering. That's why in this episode, we're getting extremely practical and also spiritual. Because until you identify the problem you were born to solve, your purpose remains invisible. We're not talking about just busyness and building something big for the sake of it. But we're talking about kingdom accuracy. Because as the Bible says, a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. Apostle Paul will say, this one thing I do. Because in the kingdom, fruit comes from precise obedience, not just any random effort. If you're gifted, passionate, or even skilled, but remain unclear about what problem you're actually solving, this episode is really for you. Let's go. And a good place to start is by reframing what we think or how we view problems, because problems are not bad. In fact, in the kingdom of God, problems are invitations. Problems provide the context in which your gift becomes necessary. Without a problem, your gift will not be necessary. It is a problem, for example, of indecision and people being overwhelmed when it comes to making decisions that makes the gift of clear thinking and strategic guidance necessary. It is a problem of stagnation in personal growth that makes the gift of encouragement and motivation necessary. It is a problem of unclear messaging in business that makes the gift of communication and clear storytelling and branding necessary. Look at the life of Jesus, for example. He was revealed through the problems that he solved. Where there was sickness, Jesus brought healing. Where there was confusion, he taught with great authority and clarity. Where there was the problem of bondage, Jesus set the captives free. You see, heaven's response to problems is people who carry solutions in the form of a gift. The question that you and I have to answer today is very simple. Are you just carrying the gift that heaven has given you? Or are you applying that gift where it is meant to be a solution to a problem? Because fruit, which you and I are looking for, only follows a faithful application of the gift that you've been given. Good intentions are wonderful. Good intentions are marvelous. But fruit doesn't just follow good intention. Fruit follows a faithful application of the gift that you carry. Because your gift is validated when it meets someone's needs. When someone with a problem encounters your gift and has that problem solved, that is the most powerful validation for your gift and your purpose that you can receive. Let's talk about why many people, or perhaps most people, miss the problem that their gift is assigned to solve. Why do many people miss their assignment? What are the blockers that limit people from applying their gift to solve that specific tangible problem that their gift is designed to solve? First of all, most people miss that assignment or that problem that they are sent to solve very simply because their main focus is on passion and not pain points. Hear me clearly, passion is good, passion is great, and I believe that passion is always a good starting point when you want to identify what your gift is. But passion is not enough when it comes to identifying the problem that you're sent to solve. Because for starters, passion often focuses on yourself. Passion focuses on what you enjoy doing. Passion focuses on the thing that sets you on fire. But the pain and the problem you are sent to solve is out there. When our focus is only on our purpose and our passion and how we can find fulfillment, we can very easily become egocentric. We can very easily become self-centered. That can very simply become a selfish way to live. And so many people focus on what they would eat, what they would drink, what they need, instead of focusing on the problem that they can solve. That is the first reason why many people miss the assignment that they have been sent to solve. Because passion without an awareness of pain can only result in self-expression. Yes, you can reach the height of your abilities. You can reach the height of your potential, perhaps by doing some things, but if it is only for yourself, and if the reason is to express your passion alone, then it's very likely that it will not lead you to the assignment that is defined by the problem and the pain point that you are sent to solve. The first reason why many people do not identify and land in that place of assignment where their gift begins to solve a problem is because they focus more on passion than on pain points or problems. Number two reason why many people miss that assignment is that they avoid problems that feel too difficult or make them feel too vulnerable. Often the thing you're afraid of, the thing you're most afraid to touch, is the very space you've been graced to transform. Why? Because the enemy loves to attack the area where you carry the most authority. The devil will attack you in the place where you carry the most potential for impact. That's where he will attack. He will therefore plant fear. He will sow fear. He will sow shame. He will sow doubt around that space so that you would step away from that assignment. But often, that hesitation that you feel is actually a confirmation that this is the place of your calling, that this is the place that God has equipped you and gifted you to solve a problem. That's the second reason why many people miss that place of assignment, because they avoid that problem that feels too difficult or that makes them feel vulnerable. A third reason why many people miss that place of calling or their assignment is that they imitate someone else's assignment. They focus on what other people are doing and they try to replicate what other people are doing. They see someone thriving in solving a specific problem and they begin to copy the packaging. They begin to copy how the person presents themselves. They begin to copy how the person speaks. They begin to copy the kind of offer that the person is making without checking the grace and the gift that they carry. The truth is this: just because it worked for someone else doesn't mean that you've been assigned to do that same thing. How then do you discern the problem that you were born to solve? Because that problem does exist, because you have a purpose, because you have been gifted to fulfill your purpose, and because your gift was given to you so that you will solve that problem. Let's get into it. How do you know the problem that you were born to solve? I want to give you 4 diagnostic questions. These aren't just questions for you to reflect, but you want to think of them as prompts, questions to get you started and to really clarify your thinking and to nail down that problem that you have been sent to solve. Number 1 question: what pain breaks your heart? What pain breaks your heart? Is it watching people stay stuck in toxic relationships? Is it seeing creatives remain unseen because they cannot communicate the value that they carry? What pain breaks your heart? Is it watching leaders burn out because no one taught them how to rest? What pain breaks your heart? As I work with people in my private coaching mastery program, I see people coming with different things that break their heart. And sometimes I wonder how those passions came about. I wonder how those passions are born, but I'm always reminded that this is the whole point of purpose, that we are all gifted differently to fulfill our purpose. For one person, it's the pain of seeing young men stuck in the addiction of pornography. Someone who just joined the program last week, for her, it's helping new mothers who are just about to start maternity leave maximize that time. I never knew there was something like prematernal fear or anxiety until I met this lady in my coaching program, and she's developing something wonderful for ladies and women who are about to go into maternity leave. That emotional agitation that you feel is often a divine signal. What breaks your heart may be what God has wired you to heal. What problem frustrates you or burdens you when it's left unsolved? That pain is not a coincidence. It may be a calling in disguise. Think of Nehemiah. Nehemiah, when he heard about the broken wall and the disgrace of his people, he didn't just feel bad, because most Israelites, most Jews would have felt bad. But for him, he wept, he fasted, he prayed, and then he did something. He did something that could have cost him his head. He went and spoke to the king. And as a result, he did what no other person would do. He rebuilt the wall. His burden was a clue to his blueprint. Your pain might be pointing you to your part in God's restoration plan. It may be in business, it may be in culture, it may be in society, it may be in relationships, it may be in marriage, whatever. It may be in education, it may be in any sector of society, because God is restoring our world to his original plan. And how he does that is by you and I walking in our allocated place, using the gifts that he has put in us. Number one, what is the problem that breaks your heart? Number two question, what breakthrough do you help others achieve effortlessly? What breakthrough do you help others achieve effortlessly? Maybe people come into your presence and they leave with clarity. Even though you weren't trying to coach them, you just talk with them and they leave with clarity. Maybe conversations with you somehow lead people to finally take action. Like when people have a conversation with you, a mental block is removed and they're able to take the action that they've been afraid of taking all along. Or maybe people come to you feeling heavy, but just talking to them and they walk away feeling lighter. You've never studied therapy, you've never studied counseling, but you see this happening all the time. Those moments matter. They're not just accidental. They're often clues from heaven that your presence carries permission for people to finally take action. They may be clues from heaven that your words carry clarity that people are looking for. Clarity that will untangle them from confusion. Or that your process, the process that you present to people, carries freedom that people can finally walk into. If people get results when they're with you, even when you don't try to help them, that effortless breakthrough is often heaven saying to you, pay attention. This may be the assignment that you were gifted to solve. Number three question to know what your assignment is. What are people always asking you for help with? What shows up again and again in people's requests to you? Maybe your friends are constantly coming to you when they need clarity about their goals or their next steps. Maybe they're always coming to you to fix their resumes or to organize their lives or to prepare them for difficult conversations, to go for interviews or to have that difficult conversation with their boss. These recurring asks are not random. They are often signals that others can see something that you haven't quite placed your finger on yet. Because you see, our gifts and our abilities sometimes can be like us standing on top of a mountain. Everyone else sees us up there, but we see nothing. We don't see how high we are. We just see the horizon around us. We don't see how high we are. It's possible that this repetition is revelation. If they keep coming to you for it, there's likely grace on you for that area. Check your messages, check your inbox, check your recent conversations. What are people constantly coming back to you for? That may just be a clue about the problem that your gift should solve. Number four, and the final question, very simply, is this: where have you suffered, healed, and now have authority? Maybe you've battled anxiety and now you have the language to calm others. Maybe you once felt unseen or unheard and now you advocate for voices that don't know how to speak up for themselves. Maybe you've experienced failure in business or leadership, and instead of that failure disqualifying you, it's qualified you to guide others through the same valley that you yourself have walked through. Your former pain is not just a chapter in your life, it's a credential. It's often in the area of your deepest healing that you carry the clearest authority. And what once broke you may now be what builds others up. Your former bondage is often the ground for your future breakthrough. You don't need to be perfect. Nobody's asking for perfection. You just need to be redeemed. If you've been redeemed, if you've been comforted, then as scripture says, you can now comfort others with the same comfort that God has comforted you. You carry solutions for the version of you that used to suffer. There's somebody who is where you were 5 years ago. There's somebody who is experiencing the pain that you were experiencing 3 years ago. You carry a solution for that person. You don't need to solve every problem. You just need to steward that single problem that heaven had sent you to solve. Let's bring this all together with some examples from the Bible, because even if we're talking about relevance and results and impact in the marketplace, the pattern of purpose and problem solving is a kingdom principle. It's kingdom through and through. You're not the first person God had sent to solve a problem. You're part of a long line of problem solvers heaven entrusted to show up with clarity and courage. Let me show you 3 very quick examples from the Bible. Genesis chapter 41, we see Joseph. Joseph didn't just have dreams. God gave him a divine strategy, and he was called to solve the problem of famine. And what was his solution? Administrative leadership, strategic implementation, wisdom in the face of crisis. Joseph shows us that spiritual favor and marketplace relevance are not opposites. He stewarded systems that saved nations, not just the nation of Egypt in which he lived, but nations around the world came to Egypt to get food in a time of famine because of the wisdom that emanated from this young man's gifts. I already mentioned Nehemiah. When he heard that the wall of Jerusalem had broken down and the people were in disgrace, he didn't start a campaign. He didn't just post and rant about it. Instead, he wept, he fasted, he prayed, and then he took a step that nobody else was willing to take. And as a result, he rebuilt the walls of Jerusalem. The problem broke his heart, and that burden became his building permit. Nehemiah shows us that leadership often begins with a lament. And of course, Jesus. What was the problem? Sin, death, separation from God. Man's biggest problem. And what was the solution? Redemption, sacrifice, eternal life for all of humanity. Jesus didn't just come to show us good ideas or to teach us good principles for living. He came to solve man's biggest problem, which is separation from God. That means that when you're solving real problems in the marketplace, you have to do that with an eternal perspective. You are walking in the footsteps of Jesus. Each of these people had a gift, but a gift only made sense when it was deployed in the direction of a problem. Let me ask you again, what problem were you born to solve? I know you're gifted, but what problem was your gift given you so that you can solve? Because there's fruit on the other side of your answer to that question. There are lives waiting for you to obey and apply your gifts to the problem that they're experiencing. And there's joy, there's flow, there's multiplication waiting when your gift meets its God-ordained problem. Why not take some time today and ask yourself, what is the problem that irritates my spirit so much because it hasn't been solved? What do people keep asking me for help with, even without me marketing that solution? What story keeps showing up in your heart because it looks like your own? Look outside yourself. Look outside just the things that make you happy and your passions, and look around you for the real problems that you do care about in other people's lives. You don't need a perfect answer today. You don't need to have it all nailed down today. You just need to start listening with some intention. Write down the things that come to your heart and maybe pray a prayer. Ask the Lord, Lord, show me where my gift intersects with a real need in the world. Show me how to build. Show me how to speak. Show me how to write. Show me how to coach. Show me perhaps how to lead from the place of the pain and the healing that I have experienced in my past. Because you see, God didn't send you just to occupy. He sent you to break cycles of pain. He sent you to bring a solution. And his method for doing that is the gift that he put inside of you. That's your purpose. It's time to solve what you are sent to solve. Because you're not random. You're not just like every other person. You're not just wandering the face of the earth. You are sent. You're on purpose. You're on assignment. This week, go out there. Solve the problem that heaven designed for you to be the answer to. God bless you.